Hello and good evening. A warm welcome to In Conversation. This is a series powered by Prudential. What we plan to do is to bring together a community of speakers and thought leaders, all to share ideas and knowledge to live well. Joining us in the studio right now, I have two beautiful ladies with me. Dr. Celina Jones, who is an evidence-based mindfulness trainer, and we've got Fiona Phua, who is a movement teacher. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
So I'm so happy that they're here with us, and we've got access to two experts here almost in their field. There's so many misconceptions about mindfulness. Can we talk about some of the biggest misconceptions you want to debunk right now?
So one of the, I think, major misconceptions probably has to do with the fact that we hear this phrase a lot, right, in our midst. Oh, be mindful when you cross the road.
Yeah.
Or be mindful, around about the people around you when you're watching a video, when you are in a public place. Now that concept of mindfulness is very different from the mindfulness that we're talking about on the show, right? Because what we're focusing on is mindfulness as a resource or a tool that would support our emotional health, our mental health, our physical health. Whereas that mindfulness is about exercising caution and consideration, right? So then what is mindfulness not as well? Well, mindfulness is also not about this insta-perfect or picture-perfect calm that we see a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is not a magic pill, right? It doesn't mean I get into mindfulness and then, hey, I'm going to zap all my emotional problems away, right? It is also not about just sitting in silence and stillness the entire time through.
Okay. Because that's a big one for me. I used to think mindfulness equates to sitting in a very, very quiet room undisturbed, and you can't practice mindfulness until everybody is far, far away from you, which is clearly a myth. And there's so many things I think that people associate mindfulness with. And is that something you get, Fiona, in your movement teaching as well?
Absolutely. And some people say, oh, how can I get to a lotus position? And because I want to start meditation, I want to start mindfulness practice. And they have this picture of people sitting in cross-legged position and sitting for hours. So that's a misconception, because you can do it anywhere, even sitting or standing.
So it's important, I think, for the audience to know that your emotions has a strong, very, very strong and direct relationship to three things. All right, one is your immunity. This is COVID time. Immunity. So how susceptible you are to the virus. How quickly do you, recover from a common flu? So your emotions have got a very direct relationship with your immunity. The second thing is that it's got a very strong relationship to your endocrine system, which is a network of organs or glands throughout body which produces hormones, and hormones are important for the cells in your body to talk to each other, and they control your mood, they control your mood, you control your growth as well as the development. And the third thing that emotion has a very strong and direct relationship to is your autonomic nervous system. And we might have heard of fight or flight, right? Fight or flee. And then of course there's also freeze.
But that's new to me, right? I've only heard of there's fight or flight syndrome.
Yes.
But what's freeze?
So freeze, like in the animal kingdom, you see animal play dead when there's a predator.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of like freezing for them to survive.
Right.
As humans, we freeze, and that is associated with rest and digest. That's when your system is not fighting or fleeing.
Okay.
And mindfulness has been found to actually activate that parasympathetic nervous system where it's rest and digest.
Any tips perhaps for our audience listening at home on how they can start this journey? So any tips on your side, Fiona, on how we can all get started?
Taking care of the body, and because the mind and body are very closely related. And things that you can do to get started. First, where are you seated right now? And are you looking at the computer? Are you leaning forward? Okay. Do you feel any tension anywhere? So this is what you can do right now. And if you feel a little bit tension, maybe you can do something about it. Maybe bring your shoulders up and just release it. Try it. Just bring it up.
So I'll do it together.
Taking a breath and exhale. So taking action to how, and being responsible about how you feel. And one tip that something that I practice is that I put an alarm every 1 hour. So it chimes every 1 hour, just a gong.
What happens then?
And then I just pause in whatever I'm doing. And this is a great way for people who are working really hard, on the computer all day, and just taking a break for that one moment. Pause and breathe. One breath. And then go back to whatever you're doing. And that's mindfulness.
I was just about to ask you, how long do these breaks take? Because
as long as you go inwards, just taking a breath, and maybe even, noticing what's in your body, and maybe, you need to get up, stretch, or get a glass of water. And this is part of a mindful practice.
How does mindfulness help in the midst of a pandemic?
There's a word that comes to mind, which is choice. And in this pandemic, a lot of us think, okay, there's no way I can travel and I'm stuck. And there's only one way to do it. I planned for this holiday and I can't do it, and, it's bugging me. So being mindful gives us different ways to react and different ways that we can choose to approach a situation.
Yeah.
So for example, what are the other things I can do? Or, at home, a lot of people are spending lots of time at home in front of their computer, indoors, because even old folks not wanting to go out because of the pandemic, that they are also moving and being aware of their body, their posture, what they're eating, what they're saying to each other at home. So it's all about being having choices that I have, because I'm not reacting that same way. I'm not creating that same pattern. Every time I see somebody not wearing a mask, I will, or somebody cough on the bus, and I react. But how can I react differently, or maybe even react in the same way if you choose to, but observe yourself, knowing that there is another way that I could have dealt with the situation, but maybe just not today.